नहमदुहु व नुसल्लिमु अला रसूलिहिल करीम। अम्मा बाद, औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू इत्तक़ुल्लाहा व कूनू मअस-सादिक़ीन। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम। इन्नल्लाहा व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लु अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना मौलाना मुहम्मद व अला आलिहि व सह्बिहि अजमईन बिरहमतिका या अरहमर राहिमीन। Respected Honorable Hazrat, Allama Maulana Ashrafi, my youngsters, elders, leaders, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is my honor to be amongst you today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept my presence here, accept your presence here today. For a few minutes, we will have discussion, receive advices, nasiha. This is the day of Jum'ah, the blessed day of Jum'ah, in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, amongst the Muslims, amongst the angels today. The ayat which I had the honor of reciting, you had the honor of listening to. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O believers, ittaqullaha. Adopt taqwa. An easy translation, ittaqullaha, fear Allah. More easy translation, ittaqullaha, read your salah, give zakat, fast in the month of Ramadan, ibadat, nawafil, tasbih, tilawat of the Holy Quran, respecting, honoring your parents and elders and teachers, being kind and merciful to youngsters, ittaqullah. Ittaqul. Now, you have iman and you have taqwa. What is the first message? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O believers. The first step of your journey begins with iman. The second message of this verse, ittaqullaha. The fact that you're a mu'min, it does not mean it ends there. Ittaqullaha. Adopt taqwa. So you have iman, you have taqwa. You are a mu'min and you are a muttaqi. Does your journey end there? This verse says no. Iman, taqwa, there is another step. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. And adopt the company of those who are truthful. First is iman, second is taqwa, third is sohba. Sufis mention, with taqwa, you earn deeds. With taqwa, you earn deeds. With sohba, your deeds are protected. This is why scholars, ulama, mufassirun, the awliya, the sufiya emphasize on sohba. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. The commentators of the Holy Quran have mentioned Sadiqeen here means awliya, salihin. Adopt the company of those who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is the benefit of sohba? This is the topic of our discussion today. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. You see, it's a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet says, "Khairul quruni qarni." The best of time is my time. The best of time is the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Does anyone have any doubts? Best of time is the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you can ask yourself a question. At that time, they used to travel with camels. We traveled with cars. At that time, they didn't have that transport. We can go within 2 hours from here to Johannesburg and then have a meeting and then come back on the same day. We have more books than they had at that time. We have more libraries than they had at that time. We have more madaris than they had at that time. We have more jami'at than they had at that time. We have more universities than they had at that time. We have more cars, money, wealth and population than they had at that time. Prophet ﷺ said, no, the best of time is my time. Allah. Why? Imam Muslim quotes and he narrates, reports another hadith. Why? Prophet ﷺ says, Al-Qarnu alladhi anafi. There's only one reason that makes my time the best time, is because it is that time in which I'm in it. Allah. What made the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam the most superior amongst all time is because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived in it. Allah. So you can bring your transport, you can have your libraries, you can have your books, you can have your wealth and population. Where will you bring the Sohba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Can you see how Sohba grants maqam? The best of time is because of its sohba, its connection, its association with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is why Sufis mentioned with namaz, you become namazi. If you read namaz, what do you become? Salah. You become Muslim. If you do Hajj, you become Haji. And don't worry about it. You can speak louder. Lunch after this as well, I think so. Yes. Is that confirmed? Yes. Alhamdulillah. With Hajj you become what? Haji. But with Sohba you become Sahabi. Allah. Now you can pray Salah all your life. You can perform Hajj every year till you pass away. Give Zakah every day. But you will still never be able to reach the status of a single Sahabi of Rasulullah. Why? And I'll tell you why. Allahu Akbar. This is mentioned Ghaliban in Bukhari. A man came to the Prophet, peace be upon him. Ya Rasulullah. He said, shall I accept Islam and then fight for you in a battle, or fight in the battle first and then accept Islam? Prophet ﷺ said no. Accept Islam now and then go and fight. He accepted that Shahada, became a Muslim. The commentators mentioned he went on his horse and he went there, and within a couple of minutes he got martyred. After the battle, when everyone were looking for bodies, Prophet ﷺ said to his companions, have you found everything? Everyone? Yes, Ya Rasulullah, we found. Prophet ﷺ said, no, I'm looking for someone. I cannot see him. Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, looked at his body, that man who accepted Islam and then was martyred, looked at him and said a beautiful sentence. He looked at his body and said, Amila qalilan wa ujira kathira. Look at the beautiful maqam and the status of this man, that he did less deeds, such less deeds, yet look at the great rewards he has earned. Now let's discuss this. From accepting Islam, that man, from accepting Islam to being martyred, not a single salah, not a single hajj, not a single umrah, not a single fast, not a single method of procedure of zakah or sadaqah in his account. Yet in maqam, in status, he's greater than Gharib Nawaz Mu'inuddin Chishti. In maqam and status, he's greater than Ghawth-e-Azam Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. In maqam and status, he's greater than Khaja Hassan Basri. In maqam and status, he's greater than Bayezid Bustami. Why? He had one thing that none of these had. He had that one moment in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah. Ya Rasulullah.
Syed Hussaini.
Zindabad. Wakunu ma'as-sadiqeen. Now do you understand the importance of Sohba? Sufis mentioned, the awliya mentioned, adopt the company of those who are close to Allah. Prophet ﷺ describes it in his hadith, and Sufis describe it from that hadith. They deduce and they explain that a good Sohba, a good companionship, a good company is like going into a perfume shop. Going into a perfume shop. You may not buy anything, but you come out with fragrance. And a bad company is like going into a coal shop or a shop where there is a lot of fire burning. Sufis mention, you may not buy anything, but your clothes will be burned and your clothes will become dirty. Your company is your introduction. If someone, Sufis mention, if someone sees you roar, you know that this man has come from the company of the lions. But if you bark, your company is your introduction. Whom do you stay with? You stay with the truthful, you become truthful yourself. You stay with the liars, one day you become a liar yourself. You stay with those who are honest, you'll become honest yourself. You stay with those who cheat, you'll become a cheat yourself. And this is why, if you remain with them, you become like them. You absorb their attributes. You inherit their light. This is why, you see, at the incident of Hijrah, Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the cave of Thawr. Does everyone know about this incident? A very famous incident. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the cave of Thawr for 3 days and 3 nights. How many days? 3 days and 3 nights. And this is that maqam when the murid, who was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, annihilated himself in the love, in the adherence of his murshid, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to such an extent where he absorbed the attributes, the nur, the light of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In that intimate sohba, in this cave of soul for 3 days and 3 nights, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq gained the attributes of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his qualities and his sifat and his nur to such an extent when they both arrived in Al-Madinatul Munawwara, people were confused. Who is Siddiq? Who is Nabi? This is the result of Sohba. In other words, what the Sufis mentioned, it was as if it was the face of Abu Bakr, but the beauty of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was the tongue of Abu Bakr, but the eloquence of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was the eyes of Abu Bakr, but the vision of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Legs of Abu Bakr, but the strength of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was the body of Abu Bakr, but the fragrance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. Ya Rasulullah. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. Adopt the company of those who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will result you into becoming close to Allah. This is why Sohba is emphasized in Islam. And the closer you are to the Prophet, peace be upon him, the greater you are. You see, why do we, particularly the Ahlul Sunnah, mention that Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq is the most superior amongst all the Sahaba? After prophets and messengers. Why? The closest to Rasul. Before prophethood, Abu Bakr was close. After, Abu Bakr was close. Whilst doing tawaf, Abu Bakr was close. Whilst in Safa and Marwa, Abu Bakr was close. While with Muzdalifah and Mina, Abu Bakr was close. Whilst reading Salah, Abu Bakr is there. Whilst during the incident of migration, Hijrah, Abu Bakr is there. In Badr, Abu Bakr is there. In Uhud, Abu Bakr is there. In Khandaq, Abu Bakr is there. In Medina, Abu Bakr is there. In front of the Prophet, behind him, sometimes left, sometimes on his right, to protect Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr is there. Even after he has passed away, he is close to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hence the most superior. Afdalul Bashar, Ba'd al-Anbiya bil-Taqi, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. Sohba is beneficial. And tasawwuf, the awliya, the sufiya emphasize on adopting good company. Now, there's another group of scholars in sufiya. What did they mention? They mentioned Sohba is to be at the right time, at the right place, with the right person. Allah. What is Sohba? At the right time, right place, with the right person. You could get a lot of things. Sometimes the place is right, the person is not right. Sometimes the person is right, the time is not right. Sometimes the time is right, the place is not right. What is Sohba? Right time, right person, right place. And this is also mentioned in the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet sallallahu was drinking milk from a bowl. On his left side was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. On his right side was a Bedouin, a person from the village, a Bedouin. Prophet sallallahu drank milk. And now it is the time to share it. It is the time to share it now. Now, let's discuss this. On his left side, it is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. On his right side is a Bedouin. Who should get that milk after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Who do you think? In maqam, after who is Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Ayman fal-Ayman. When you drink and you want to pass, make sure it goes on the right and from right to right. What does that mean? You see that Bedouin was sitting at the right place, at the right time, with the right person. What belonged to Abu Bakr, he started drinking. What belonged to Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar, he was gaining it. He received it. Why? Being at the right time, at the right place, with the right person. And there was one man who thought about stealing the jubbah of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. Although I don't endorse that, but this man thought, I'll sell his jubbah. It is quite expensive, I'll have money. But he did not know that he was running after the right person at the right time, at the right place. He went in the house of Abdul Qadir Jilani as a thief, came out as a waliullah. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. Adopt the company of those who take you closer to Allah. And this is why tasawwuf is based on Sohba. What is it based on? Sohba. You want to become like the Sufiya, like the awliya, you adopt their company. Now, one of the other benefits of Sohba is that it protects you from calamities. It protects you from calamities. You remain with those whom are blessed with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will also gain the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through their company. Those special mercy, specific, that is for them, for the awliya. Now, there was a time during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when the mushrikeen of Makkah challenged him. They said, "Oh Muhammad, if what you say is haqq, why does not Allah send us punishment? If what you say are the words of Allah, we don't believe. Then for our rejection, why are we not punished? The people of Nuh were punished. The people of Lut were punished. The nation of other prophets were punished for not listening to the prophets. Why are we not punished? If you are on haqq and the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in the Holy Quran. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ. Ya Rasulullah, Allah shall not punish them. Not because they are close to Kaaba. Not just because they are close to Safa and Marwa and Mina and Muzdalifah. Not because they have control over Makkah. وَأَنْتَ فِيهِمْ. Ya Rasulullah, because you live amongst them. You are amongst them. This is why it's a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. An-nujum amanun li ahli as-sama. Stars are security for the people of heaven. Wa ahlu bayti amanun li ahli al-ard. And my family is a security for the people of this earth. People of the land. And not just that, Sufis narrate, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَفْقُرُ فِي الْمُسْلِمِ الصَّالِحِ مِنْ أَهْلِ بَيْتٍ مِنْ جِيرَانِهِ الْبَلَاءِ. They narrate a prophetic tradition. They say, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala averts and protects 100 houses from calamities which are located next to a house of a waliullah. You don't know who your neighbor is. But it could be that you are protected because of their presence. Hazrat Malik bin Dinar was a great waliullah, an excellent personality within the history of Islam. He had a debate with an individual who did not believe in Allah. They had a debate, munazara, debate upon debate, question, answer. As you sit here, the public was sitting at that time. And they were having debates, question, cross-examination, critical analysis, question, rebuttal, and so forth. The public said, there seems to be no conclusion to this debate. We will do mubahala now. We will light a fire. Malik bin Dinar and that man who woke in that fire, on the other side, who comes out safe and sound, is on haqq. Malik bin Dinar smiled. Alhamdulillah, I belong to the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am upon the deen of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will be protected to them. He went into the fire with that man. Sufis narrate, on the other side, people were looking, who's going to come out safe and sound. They saw Malik bin Dinar come out. And as they were about to give their verdict, they saw that man come out as well. Now Malik bin Dinar started crying, Ya Allah, I might have made a mistake in my debate, in my salah, in my ibadat, in my riyadat, in my nawafil, in my tasbih, in my tilawat. There must have been some weakness that this man was protected in front of me, who was defending the deen of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sufis narrate, a voice from the unseen was heard. Malik bin Dinar, wipe the tears of your eyes. You are haqq. Had that man walked into the fire alone, he would have been destroyed. Today your company has saved him. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. Adopt the company of those who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because you become like them. You become like them. I know the time is over. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Maulana has pointed towards 5 fingers, which I assume is 50 seconds or 5 minutes. 5 minutes. But we will end it there. We will end it there. What we want to understand is, we understand the importance of Sohba. You become like them, right? You become like them. You stay with the brave, you become brave. You know, you stay with the weak. At times you become weak. So it's important to adopt, particularly the youngsters. Adopt the company of those who pray salah. Be in the company of those who speak the truth. You know what is a good company, what is a bad company. I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to tell you. You know what is good. You know what is bad. You know what will take you closer to Allah. You know what will take you away from Him. You are intelligent. Today is the day of mobile and Google and WhatsApp. I don't have to tell you. If you adopt the company of those who have drugs, one day they will take you closer to drugs. And going closer to drugs takes you away from Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But if you stay in the company of those who hold tasbih, one day you will also have tasbih in your hand. And that takes you closer to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is important that your sohba is correct. Your sohba, you decide carefully as to whom you want to spend time with. And that is important. I say, spend time with the scholars. Spend time with the ulama, with the Sufiya. Spend time with your elders. Listen to their struggles. Today you have internet, today you have houses, today you have shelter, today you have food, today you have money, safety and security. It is because of the sacrifices of your elders. It is because of the sacrifices of your parents. Otherwise, you know what is happening in Yemen. You know what is happening in Syria. You know what is happening in other parts of the world. I don't have to tell you. Be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given you this shelter. He provides you with food. Serve them, be with your parents and elders, scholars. When they are not there, you will realize their importance. Not now. Not now. Right now, your mother might not mean so much to you. When she is in her grave, and you need someone to embrace you after a hard work, a day of hard work. You want someone to hug you. You want someone to love you. You want someone to call you and say, how are you? How are you feeling? Come, I'll give you a massage on your head. Come, I'll embrace you. And she's not there. Then you will realize the importance of your mother, importance of your father. That father who sacrificed his own needs. He wanted to buy good clothes, but he did not because you needed clothes. He wanted to buy good gadgets, but he did not because you wanted toys. Yet that same father is alone in his house. Go and embrace him. Don't just think that reading salah is enough. Giving zakat is enough. Praying tasbih is enough. No. Be in the company of your parents. It is not enough. There was a man, there was no barakah in his business. There was no barakah in his life. His heart didn't have peace. Went to a sheikh. Sheikh, give me a wazifa, a dua that I can read so my business gets barakah. I have peace. The sheikh said, this wazifa come after 21 days. Came after 21 days, same thing. Another change wazifa, same thing. Another wazifa, same thing. He came again to the sheikh. Sheikh said, do you pray your salah? He says, yeah, I pray my salah. I do everything. I do tasbih, I do tilawat. There is no barakah in my business. There's no peace in my heart. The sheikh asked, how's your mother? Where does she live? He said, she lives in another house. I've not spoken to her for 3 months. The sheikh said, you want barakah? You want peace? I'll give you a wazifa. I'll give you a wird. Go to your house. Go to the room of your mother. Hold her feet and continue to say, forgive me, my mother. And until she does not forgive you, continue saying this, and when she forgives you, Allah will give you barakah in your business and will give you peace in your heart. This man did it, and he became, this is a true story, this man did it, and he became one of the most richest individuals in the city, and one of the most generous individuals in the city. Adopt the company, be in the company of your parents. Love them, honor them. If your parents have passed away, don't worry, go to their graves, pray for them. Every night, pray for them. Istighfar. Every night. And they'll be happy in the grave that look, we could not build a big masjid, or we could not build a big madrasa for Satya Jariya, continuous reward, but we have left a good son who prays for us. So you could become that continuous reward for your parents. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to remain in the company and accept our presence here today.